Hello. In today's lesson, we are going to be making line plots. Now, we've already been collecting information. We've put them into bar graphs. We've also, yesterday, we put them into tables. Today, we're going to be gathering information, but we're going to be analyzing it using line plots. And so this is how a line plot works. So the directions say, Chase asked 10 students how many servings of fruit and vegetables they eat each day. 3 people eat 2 servings. Draw 3 X's over the number 2. So 1, 2, 3. And that's it. 6 people eat 5 servings. So we're going to draw 6 X's over the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 person eats 7 servings. So draw 1 X over the number 7. So this is how a line plot works. Okay, in other graphs, we were using tallies, which we'll see on the next page. But it's just another way to organize information. Okay, let's turn the page to page 568. And up here, it talks about what a line plot is. We just did a line plot. A line plot is a way to organize data. Line plots are used to see how often a certain number occurs in data. So Mr. Sun's students marked their ages on a tally chart. They made a line plot using the data. Okay, so let's look at our tally chart over here. It says that when he marked their ages on the chart, 1, 2, 3 people were 7, 5 were 8, and 2 were 9. So if we go over to our line plot, we can see we've got 3 for 7, just like 3 for 7 over there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 8. And we have 2 for 9. So on number 1, we're going to use the tally chart to make a line plot. So this what time we're doing pets. So for number 1, we have 2. For number 2, we have 3. For number 3, we have 2. For number 4, we have 1. And that's all that's involved in making a line plot. We're going to take the information that they give us in whatever chart that they happen to give us. This time it's tallies. And we're going to organize it into the line plot. So let's do number 2 together. 0 has 2. So we're going to put 1, 2 there. Number 1 has 3. So we're going to come over here and go 1, 2, 3 X's, right straight up and down. Number 3 has 1. So I'm going to go over to number 3 and I'm going to put an X over the number 3. Number 4 has nothing. So I'm not going to add any more check marks. Okay, at this point, if you feel like you got it, you can stop the video and you can go ahead and do on my own numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on your own, and then continue on to the homework on page 571 and 572. But if you feel like you need a little more practice or you're not sure, go ahead and turn the page with me, keep the video going, and let's do number 3. Okay, number 3. It again says to use the tally chart to make a line plot. So let's look at number 3. We have 0. People that had 0 brothers. There's 3 people that have no brothers. So we're going to go over to the 0 and put a 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's go over to look at number 1. How many people are for number 1 or had one brother? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go over to number 1. I'm going to add 4 check marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for 3, how many people had 3 brothers? 1, 2, 3. So go over to number 3 and add 1, 2, 3. Now for 4, looks like 1. So I'm going to go over to number 4 and I'm going to add 1 check mark. Okay, let's look at number 4. Cousins. This side is tally mark. So it looks like for 4 cousins, there's 3. So we're going to go over to the number 4 and we're going to put 1, 2, 3. Okay, now for 5 cousins, it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go over to the number 5 and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that when you're writing your X's, you're not writing them so big that they're overlapping each other, because what we want to do is we want to be able to go back to the line plot and understand how many times that this one event occurred or this one thing happened or how many people had that many cousins. And if you're writing your X's so big that they're overlapping or they're so messy that we can't understand it, then it makes no sense, right? So we want to make sure that we put our X's neatly over each other so that we can actually go back and look at the information, understand it. So for number 6, let's look at how many people have 6 cousins. So we know this is 5 plus 1 more, 6. So for number 6, we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now our very last one, 7 cousins. 5 people have 7 cousins. So we're going to go over to number 7 and we're going to add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do number 5. Number 5, it looks like we're looking at ants. So 3 ants, it looks like 5 plus 1 more is 6. So go over to the number 3 and add 6 check marks. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, we've got 3. So go over to the number 4 and add 3. 1, 2, 3. 5 ants, we have 2. So we're going to add 2 check marks there. And for 6 ants, we have 3. So we're going to go over to the number 6 and we're going to add 3 X's. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you've just completed 3 plot lines. Okay, turn the page with me to page 570. And let's look at a few word problems using plot lines. So we're on number 6. Eli asked 10 classmates how many glasses of water they drink each day. 2 people said 1. 3 people said 0. 3 people said 4. Everyone else said 10. Okay, so what do we know? We know that Eli asked 10 classmates. Okay, 2 people said 1. 3 people said 0. 3 people said 4. And everyone else said 6. Okay, so let's start over here with the 2 people said 1. So let's go over to number 1 and put 2 check marks. Okay, 3 people said 0. So now I'm going to go over to the 0 and I'm going to mark those 3 people. 1, 2, and 3. 3 people said 4. 1, 2, 3. Now it says everyone else said 10. We know that he said 6. So we know he has 10 people. So we need to find out how many people are left over after we've asked these, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to add them together. We're going to add 3, because 3 people said 0, plus 2 more, plus 3 more. Okay? Oops, that kind of looks wonky. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 3 more is 8. So we've already have 8 answers over here, but we know he asked 10. So if I've already asked 8 people, I can take 10 minus 8. So the everyone else is 2. So everyone else said 6. That means that 2 people said 6. Okay, let's do number 7. Sydney asked 15 friends how many times they exercise each week. The same number of people said 1 time and 3 times. 5 people said 2 times. 4 people said 4 times. Okay, this problem is very similar to the one that we just did. So let's start with what we know. We know that she asked 15 friends, right? The same number of people. So the same number of people said 1 and 3. 5 people said 2. 4 people said 4. So 5 people said 2. Let's start there. Let's go over to the 2 and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 people said 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the same number of people said 1 time and 3 times. But first I need to know how many people that was, or that is. So I need to add the 5 plus 4. Okay, that's how many people we know the answers to. That gives me 9. I know she asked 15. So now in order to find out how many people are left, I need to take that 15, subtract the 9 that I know, gives me a 6. Now I know that the same number of people said 1 time and 3 times. So this 6, I have to break it in half, which is 3, right? Because 3 plus 3 equals 6. So I know that I'm going to say 3 people said 1 time. 1, 2, 3. And 3 people said 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now if I want to go back and I want to check for reasonableness, I could just count my x's and make sure I get to 15. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, she has 15 friends. So we're all done with that problem. Okay, so now you can go on and hopefully you've got a good idea of how to do these problems for your homework. I want you to do page 571 and 572. Okay? And I'll see you on the next lesson.